It is Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services. And you are here now with the inaugural broadcast of the Next Level Living Show. The Next Level Living Show, where we are talking to ordinary people doing extraordinary things to live their life on the next level. As I said in the beginning, Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge, and I am unstoppable. And if you get nothing else out of this show tonight, I want you to know that you are unstoppable too. We have a great show for you tonight. I've got some great guests that are hanging out with us tonight, and I hope you will hang out too. Just one second. Live TV. There you go. Get that feedback out of the way. So I've got some live guests hanging out with us in the hangout room now, and we're going to let them showcase themselves a little later on in the show. But this show is interactive as well, so I want you to go to the Facebook private chat room for Next Level Living Show. This is where you can interact with us. This is where you can talk to us, ask us any questions, tell us what you think about your story and our story so that we can grow together with the Next Level Living Show. So that is facebook.com/next level living. Facebook.com/next level living. And I'll be checking back and forth to see if anybody is in that Facebook chat room, because we definitely want to talk to you. We definitely want to see what's going on, and we definitely want you to be a part of this new interactive technology. It's not about us, it is about you and what we can do to help you live your life on the next level. So as I link up to that room, give me just a second, I will give you some information about myself. System's moving a little bit slow, so we'll come back to that. So I hail out of the great city of Chicago. Now, what you may have heard about Chicago over the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, that's just media hype. Chicago is a great city, born and raised on the south side of Chicago, the Wow Wow Hundreds, and I could not have picked a better place to live, to grow up, and to become the person that I become. I am the baby of a great mother who had 4 total children, and I have been blessed with some great opportunities over the course of my life. And in every stage of my life, I've been able to help somebody in some shape, form, or way. And I think that's been my true calling in life, to be able to help people, to be able to leave people better off than when they met me. And what I do now, I'm a certified life coach with Unstoppable Coaching Services, and I've been in business as a life coach and accountability coach for the past 5 years. And what I want to help you do is I want to help you create your vision, implement your vision, and more importantly, hold you accountable to making that vision a reality. Because we can do the first 2 by ourselves most of the time. We know what it is we want to do, and we may even know how to do it. But as with most of us, life gets in the way, things get in the way, plans change, and then that dream, that vision that we created in the back of our minds so long ago never happens. And sometimes all we need is just a partner to partner up with us, to push us, to let us know that it's okay. You're on the right path. You're almost there, to help that vision turn into a reality. But ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't always a life coach. I had this as a dream, and I didn't take full advantage of it when the dream first came into my head. And it was only after I had one of those life events to happen in my life, and it's probably happened in your life, that it pushed me into my calling and into the situation that I am right now. Back in 2008, I was one of the people that got let go after the big crash, the big financial crash of 2008, where jobs got squeamish and they weren't hiring and they could do whatever they could to cut the fat, to trim the expenses. And I was caught in a situation where I had to choose between helping my family and holding on to my good government job. And it came to a head in the winter of 2008 where I chose my family over the job. And by March of 2009, I was unemployed. Now, I had thought about life coaching as early as 2005. I actually went to a seminar and learned the word life coaching. I didn't know what it was before. I always knew that I wanted to help people. I always knew that people enjoyed talking to me and sharing their experiences with me. And I always knew that people found benefit, found value in the advice that I would give them. But I never knew what the terminology was. So when I went to that seminar in 2005 and found out about it, I was intrigued. But I had this good paying job. And I didn't want to give up on that good paying job for fear of what might happen if I stepped out and did something else. So I stayed put. But I tell the story all the time that God is a funny God. You can lock yourself in a room hoping that nothing will get to you and nothing will attack you, and God won't open the door. What God will do is he'll move the walls in closer, closer and closer and closer until there's no way, no other way to get out except to go to that door that you had already locked. And that's what God did in my life. He just made the walls come in closer. So the only way left for me to go was out that door. And family, you recognize that once you step outside of that door, once you step outside of your comfort zone, you find that destiny is right there waiting for you. And it is usually better than what you were experiencing inside that room. That room was the comfort zone. That door is your future possibilities. I want you to learn from the Next Level Living show and the guests that we bring on this show that you have possibilities, that you can move to the next level, that you can be more than what you are in your comfort zone. And you can be better on the other side of that door than where you are right now. So that's a little bit about my story. Now let me tell you about the Next Level Living show. The Next Level Living show came about because as I started to pursue my life coaching business, I got certified in 2009 after taking some courses, and I came up with the vision, the name Unstoppable Coaching, because if you break it down, it's actually three different syllables: unstoppable, unstop able, unstop able. Another word for un is not stop able. If you switch the words around, it says you're not able to stop. Unstoppable. And that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to not be able to stop fulfilling my dream. I wanted to not be able to stop reaching for the next level. I wanted to not be able to stop being a provider for my family. I wanted to not be able to stop visiting all the 7 continents of the world. I wanted to not be stopped. I didn't want anyone else to have the ability to stop me from being where I was trying to go. And out of that, I wanted that same thing for the people that I coached. I wanted people to be unstoppable. And that's where this slogan came up from. I am unstoppable. It's my mantra. It's my calling card. It is my mantra to you, to let you know that if this ordinary person is unstoppable, imagine what you can be too. So 2009, came up with the slogan, was doing some coaching, and I ran across Blog Talk Radio. I was just looking for outlets of inspiration and motivation, things that I could listen to, things that I could be inspired by. And I ran across this show called Mindshift Talk Radio by a trio of great people. I don't know if they're on listening now, but it was Dr. Io Kadar, it was Billy Miller, and the host was Stacey Emery. Very powerful show, getting you to shift your mind, getting you to think outside of the box, getting you to look at different possibilities. And one day I just decided to call into the show. Don't remember what the topic was, but I called in and I gave my viewpoint on whatever the topic was. And it kept drawing me in, week in, week out, week in, week out. I would go back to that show. And finally, they saw my participation in the chat room, just like I'm asking you to do now in the Facebook group, facebook.com/Next Level Living. And they said, hey, why don't you come on and be a guest on the show? And so I did. And then I was a guest on the show maybe 3 other times. And seeing that those ordinary people doing extraordinary things with this little radio show called Mindshift Talk Radio, they were living their life on the next level. It gave me the motivation to step out and say, I'm going to do my own radio show. And so in November 2010, I did my first Blog Talk Radio show entitled Next Level Living, just like this show. And I did that show, and then I had a co-host that did it for a year with me. And we did that show for about 2 years. And I enjoyed it so much because I got to meet wonderful people like the 2 people in the Hangout that you're going to be introduced to tonight. I got to meet people from all over the country, from all over the world, just because of that connection, just because of this internet connection. And that is truly one definition of living life on the next level, being connected to people that you had never been connected before. I often tell people that, me and my wife, we travel a lot. We don't have any kids, so we can just go at a moment's notice. So other than being known as Mr. Unstoppable, we are known as the Travelers. Every year, someone will ask us, okay, where are you guys going now? Where are you going now? And we do that because I know there is a world beyond Chicago, Illinois. I know there's a world beyond my neighborhood. I know there's a world beyond the borders of the United States. And so we travel and we go see those places and we go to experience different things, and that changes our mindset about what's possible. When you move to the next level, you're not afraid to stay in that one box. You have no problem expanding your horizons, moving to the next level, seeing bigger and better things and greater possibilities. That's what this show is all about. So you're not just only going to talk to people who may live in your neighborhood. You're going to see people on this show that live outside of the boundaries of the United States. I have Facebook friends that are as far away as South Africa, and we are going to bring those people in so that they can have a voice, so that they can get exposed, so that they can live on the next level and show us how to live on the next level in another part of the world. I'm part of some network marketing groups where the CEOs live in Costa Rica, and they do hangouts just like this. They are CEOs, 7-figure incomes, and they see the value of doing these hangouts and doing these shows. And so if they can do it, then I'm unstoppable. I'm going to be able to do it, and I'm going to hopefully motivate and inspire you to do the same thing, just by either being a guest on this show or by tuning into the show each and every time we're on. Now, we haven't come up with a set schedule yet, but more than likely it's going to be on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday going forward, so that we don't oversaturate the market, but we give everybody the opportunity to be unstoppable and to live life on the next level. So, who are we going to have on the show? We are going to have speakers. We are going to have coaches. We're going to have entrepreneurs. We're going to have startup people. We're going to have people who don't even know where to start, but they have a story to tell. You know, just by telling your story, just by talking out loud about your story, you can find out what your calling is. And when you find out what your calling is, you find out what your purpose is. And then when you find out what your purpose is, then you can move in that purpose. But sometimes you just got to take that first step. Going to the next level is just a series of steps, but you got to start with the first one. So for you who's watching right now, the first step may be just to find out what it is you're good at. For you, it may be just to find out what your purpose is. You know how to do a lot of things. You're good at a lot of things. You're a quick learner. You're successful probably in the things that you do, but there's something inside of you that's saying it's not enough right now. So you're searching. You're searching for that thing that is going to make the difference and that's going to propel you to the next level. That's what this show is all about. You may already have your vision worked out, but you need strategies. You need techniques. You need different ways of doing business to be the success that you really want to be. We're going to have people on this show that can give you those strategies and that can point you in that direction. You may be the procrastinator in the room. You may be the person that just got on this call and we've been on for 20 minutes. Well, there are going to be people here for you too, to move you out of procrastination and into motivation so that you can get up off your assets and go make your dream a reality. So that you can be accountable to what it is that you say you want to be. That's what the Next Level Living show is all about. And I invite you to become a part of this movement. It's not just a show, it's the Next Level Living movement. If you are in the Facebook group right now, somebody put that in the Facebook group, facebook.com/Next Level Living. Put in Next Level Living Movement. I hear people typing, and I know if you're on here, you are doing that right now. This is a movement, and movement is an action word. Movement says you're doing something, and if you're doing something, you're going somewhere, and that's what we want to see happen. We want to see everybody doing something and going somewhere. That's what the Next Level is all about, and I'm glad you guys tuned in for this inaugural show. So what I want to do right now is I want to introduce two people that were gracious with their time tonight to come on with the hangout, the inaugural hangout with me, and hang out with the Unstoppable Coach. They are unstoppable in their own right. I'm going to introduce both of them first, and then I'm going to I'm a gentleman, so I'll let the ladies go first. I'll let the lady go first and tell her story and tell you what she's all about, and we'll go from there. So we've got great guests on the show. Hailing from the great state of New Mexico, we've got John McClung Jr. Let's give him a virtual clap. And then from the great state of Kentucky, we've got, I'm affectionately calling her the 2014 Ever Energizer Bunny. We got Tiffany Brown. We got Tiffany Brown from Kentucky. Hey, Tiffany.
Hi.
All right, so we're going to start with Tiffany. Tiffany, I'm going to give you the opportunity to have the mic for 10 minutes. Tell us a little bit about yourself. But first and foremost, I want you to tell me what it means to you to live life on the next level.
Oh, yes. like I said, it's a loaded question. But today, I just wanted to convey that the next level living to me is taking off the old and walking into your new. And actually, after you've seen your vision personally, actually getting out there and making it happen so you can live it. So that's the next level living for me.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Tiffany.
Okay, well, I'm Tiffany Brown from Lexington, Kentucky. I'm originally from San Diego, California. I've been here 2 years. I left California on a women of prayer. I just wanted something different. I felt an urgency to want more. Everywhere I looked, I just was like, I want more. So the thing for me was just jumping ship. Everybody was doing like the mundane things and mediocre things that I felt like I'm here to do something bigger than me. I would like to leave a legacy for my children. I have two children. I'm a single mom, and I work as a nurse. I've been a nurse for 14 years, and it's been a journey as a nurse because it was a passion of mine. I don't want to work as a nurse anymore. I would rather own the company than be an employee in the company.
All
I
right now.
have a lot of different things going on that I just feel like it's not helping people thrive, with pharmaceutical companies, and as such, it's about money. They charge $200 a day for nursing home care, and we're low staffed. So a lot of different things with nursing has made me decide that my passion is not necessarily what I went to school for. Um, so that for me has been a challenge, and it's been a revelation because I just knew that that's what I was supposed to do, but I just can't. When you can't sleep at night, you can't. You think because you're thinking of it's something bigger, it's something bigger, it's something more, it's something more. This is not it. This is not me just punching a clock every day and being on somebody's time and being disgruntled. So I cried about being a nurse and not wanting to be a nurse anymore.
Okay.
And it's been uh, therapy just to read different books on people that have overcame and was in one field and moved on to what their real passion is and living their life by God's design, I say. So then you're able to help other people. If you happy, you're able to help other people be happy and get over some of their struggles and strives. So I just want to be effective in the world, with my book and with being a holistic nurse and help others, get out of debt, learn investments. I wholesale. I'm doing a lot of other things that are helping me transition from employee to entrepreneur. So,
Okay. So tell us about those other things. This is your moment. This is Tiffany Brown. Let the world know. Don't don't be shy. Don't be
I have
shy.
arrived. Let me. I have arrived.
You know what?
I just want to say thank you for this platform, Terrance, and
Mhm.
I really appreciate it. Yesterday when I got the email, I just was like, I thought it was a hoax, and then I was like, oh no, it can't because I've seen a couple of your videos and stuff, and I just was like, I don't care what kind of platform it is on, I just want to be there, because you can reach the masses with the online industry. I mean, you can reach so many people at one time. It's ridiculous. Whereas, getting on TV or that could be expensive or something like that. And this is, I just appreciate the platform. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
So you're going to be a future Amazon best-selling author, right?
I'm trying to get to the New York Times.
Okay. We want to get you to wherever it is you are trying to go, sweetheart. So you've got a very catchy title. So why don't you tell them what that title is and a little bit about the book?
Okay, well, my book title is From Bad Chick to Virtuous Woman, Devil Get Under My Feet. and it's playing on the character. Her name is Sadie, and how she goes through the seven deadly sins of gluttony, lust, greed, laziness, wrath, envy, and pride, and how those titles and those experiences with gluttony, she was promiscuous. With lust, she lusted after food for emotional reasons. So with every title, there was an experience for her to go through, and the seven deadly sins almost killed her. But she had a revelation from God to get back into her relationship with God, so that He can transcend her from a bad chick to a virtuous woman, and then it goes into the virtuous um, um, virtues of a virtuous woman.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So
Nice.
now
Family faith.
if you were to tell somebody who's going to watch this broadcast, who's watching this broadcast right now, if you would give them one nugget about how you decided to live your life on the next level, what would it be?
By listening to my heart and not everybody else. And
Okay.
my heart, it screams. It's it's enraged, believe me, because I feel like I didn't listen long ago, and now I'm trying to play catch up. So if I can help
Wow.
somebody not play catch up and really listen to their heart from the beginning, they won't have to go through the seven deadly sins.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you, Tiffany. Tiffany Brown from Kentucky. The bad chick turned virtuous woman. Check out,
Yes,
look out
yes,
for that book coming real soon
very
to
soon.
a bookstore, to an online store, to the New York Times bestseller list. I know it is just
Amen.
going to be unstoppable.
Yes,
And and I want you to just understand what she said. Your calling. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Your heart. That's where your calling is. And when you listen to your heart, then it's going to answer you. It's going to tell you what it is you need to know and where it is you need to go.
Hmm.
Then it becomes up to you to make that choice if you're going to walk in that path or if you're going to stand pat where you are and not go anywhere. Family, the next level living movement is about moving forward. Once you hear it clearly, that calling that is in your heart, you've got to make that move. And you've got to trust. You've got to have faith. You've got to believe that what came out of your heart is what's planned for you, and walk in knowing that you are going in the right direction despite what might come your way. I know it's fearful. I know you're comfortable where you are, but it's time to move, family. I know that what you see around you, you're aware of, and it looks familiar, but it's time to move, family. I
yes,
know that where you are is not as frightening as may be where you want to go, but it's time to move, family. You cannot stay in the same place doing the same thing and expect different results. They call that insanity. And I don't want you to be insane
Hmm.
and go nowhere. I want you to be tenacious and have an insanity towards doing something more. I want people to say you are crazy about where you're trying to go. That's
yes.
what I want people to say about you.
That's right.
And the only way you can do that is by taking the next step and moving to the next level. And this show is going to help you do that. So if you are in the private Facebook group for Next Level Living, I just want you to type in there that it's time to move. Hashtag it's time to move. And
Yes.
then we are going to introduce our next guest. Our next guest, this brother this brother got me on my toes. And this is the first time that I have met him virtually. We still got to get together and do a handshake. So I don't know if I'm coming to New Mexico, if you're coming to Chicago, or maybe we're meeting in St. Louis halfway. But some way we're going to make it happen so that we can connect with each other. But John McClung Jr. is a testimony. He has a story to tell, and it is a story of testimony. He has taken his testimony and turned it into a business so that other people who have a testimony can stand up and be noticed for the testimony that they're going to give. So out of the great state of New Mexico, we're going to introduce John McClung of I Am a Testimony Clothing. John, mic check, mic check. John, can you hear us?
Mic check, mic check.
All right.
I am there. Hey,
All right.
let me say this. It's tough following TNT. That's some dynamite, Terrance and Tiffany.
And he's quick on his feet, too, family.
Yes, but definitely.
But
Go ahead, John.
I am grateful and honored, my friend, to have this invite and be a part of your inaugural coming out party with the Next Level Living, and also being honored with the informative Tiffany as far as being a part of her upcoming success that she's going to have with her book. I'm looking forward to reading that, and also being a part of whatever she may need in reference to moving forward. But absolutely, and I think this is one of the formats that allow interaction. And I think we both spoke of it earlier, being able to meet individuals that you can't necessarily touch and say that they're intangible, but even seeing in vision, it's intangible. So, and that's a good thing, being able to visualize individuals and feel the passion that they have, and be able to say, you know, it's still a connection there, even when you can't actually touch them. So when you talk about Terrance, me and you getting, you know, we gonna hug, brother. We ain't gonna shake hands. we're gonna give that brother a hug.
All right.
Knowing that we're going to the next level together.
Not a problem, John. Not a problem. So, John, tell us what it means to you to live life on the next level, and then you can the floor is yours to tell us what it is you want us to know about you.
Absolutely. And again, I think when Tiffany answers, talk about a loaded question, it is loaded, but as long as you got the chamber filled, you can come with some answers.
All right.
So I got the chamber filled.
All right.
So
Shoot
you know,
up.
the next level to me, I think the first thing for me is making the decision to actually do it. I think when we have opportunities, sometimes we second guess ourselves because of the fear of going to the next level. I had a story about a man building a house, and the focal point of the house was the porch, and people would come by and look at the beauty of the porch because it had everything on it. But some people would try to get on the porch by jumping from the sidewalk to the second step, or the sidewalk to the porch, and they were not successful. And one individual comes by and he's able to go right up onto the porch, and the people say, well, why did he get to the porch? Because he took it one step at a time. So basically, when you look at going to the next level, it's one step at a time, and this is one of those steps, being able to collaborate with individuals such as yourselves and being not fearful of moving into the next level, because again, it's already prepared for you. We just got to step in it and excel in it. Because it is our destiny. I think the other thing from a next level standpoint, and Terrance, you spoke of this a little bit, one of the talks that I have is called 18 Inches to Your Destiny. And the 18 inches is the difference between your head and your heart. What do you feel in with that 18 inches that takes the actual thought process to your heart and make it a passion for you to act upon it? So that's one of the things. I think it's a heartfelt situation. So right now, what you're doing with myself and Tiffany is a heartfelt situation that allows us to actually know that this is where we're supposed to be. It's affirmation for us. Right. You know, the other day I was telling my wife, hey, you know what? It's time for me to move because, man, I was irking so bad as far as being able to speak, because I know that is part of my talent, gift, and skills, that I couldn't figure it out, and I'm part of a network like you are that allows me to reach out to individuals. But then when you decide, which I did the other day, man, I decided in tears that I was going to do this. Guess what happens? I get an email from my man Terrance saying, "Hey, I need you to be a part of this inaugural opening." And I was like, you know what? That was it right there. That says I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and step to the next level. And there's nothing wrong with a brother reaching out and saying, "Hey, let me pull you with me, man. You know, hey, I appreciate the handout," and you know,
Come
and basically
on,
it's a
thank
hand up.
And you know what? Let me. You still got the floor, but I got to interject this part. And Tiffany, no disrespect to you, but I have been on a lot of hangouts over the last couple of years. I have seen a lot of shows. I have gone to a number of networking events, and I've been on a lot of calls. And the one thing that is common through all those things, and you guys may experience this too in your circle of influence, is there are a lot of women at these things, but
yes,
very few men.
Yes, sir.
And to bring it even closer to home, very few brothers that
Yep.
are stepping out and leading this way, leading this charge, letting people know that it is possible.
right,
You know, the women know it's possible. and, and
yes,
and I don't know if it's genetic or if it's hereditary or what, but maybe they get it quicker. Maybe they see the possibilities quicker. Maybe because we are hiding behind our mask of being men and all that bravado, and I can pull my own self up by my own bootstraps. I
Hmm.
don't need anybody else's help. Maybe that has us missing the boat and missing all the greatness that's out there waiting for us, because we think the only way it's going to happen is if we do it ourselves.
mm-hmm.
Well, I am unstoppable, not because I did it by myself, but because I was smart enough to know that I can't do it all
Right.
by myself.
Right,
And I got to reach out to people like John and to people like Tiffany, because if I ride their coattails, and they may teach me something, and if they ride with me, I may teach them something, and together we can learn something that's going to take us all to the next level. And
Absolutely.
like I said, if we can all go to the top, there's room up there for all of
yes
us.
it is, yes it
Why
is.
not?
And I,
I Go ahead, Tiffany.
oh, just one, just and just just kind of, I'm a nurturer, so I think that men also don't have enough examples, because we had Martin Luther King, we had Malcolm X, we had all of those people, and they were killed. And to see that happen, I think it put like a fear into men. But once they see you, Terrence or John, and other men doing these types of things, and really getting into their heart, and really doing what their heart is telling them to do, then I think more men will jump on the movement to to
All
the next
right.
level, honey.
All right.
Yep.
More examples of it. More examples of it. Because
John
you see
has
more
has
ratchetness of everything else. You know what I'm saying? So more examples of some good next level living. Okay.
all right. So, John, has that been your experience in your travels and in your circle of influence?
Yeah, you know what, that I got it from the inside out. You know, being a minister's son, one of the things that I'm pretty sure all of us know or have seen is that when you are attending a church service or a congregation is dominated by women, a lot of times men, as men, we do not feel that another man can give us a leadership skills. I mean, you think about it, the majority of the women that do attend services are looking for in most cases, a leader that will actually direct and give steps as well. And granted, you have some ladies that are leaders as well, but if you look at the chain of command, is God, man, then the woman. So, I mean, granted, from a scriptural standpoint, and everything I do is based on that. That's one of the things that I know for a fact because I've seen it from the inside out is
Mhm.
that that is one of the things that if you look at the steps, that's what they look for. So, men, we have to actually step into the leadership role and be confident enough to do so. And when we are, then yeah, you can see that grow. But unless we actually, and I was going to say something earlier, sometimes you have to lose your mind to go to the next level. And
All right.
by losing your mind,
Oh,
you have to make that change in thought process to want to do that. And I think a lot of times we find ourselves thinking the same way as far as our mindset. And I'm speaking from experience. I had to lose my mind because I was considered the prodigal son in my family, coming from a ministerial family. And you have to change your thought process to actually begin to move in your destiny. And you do have to lose your mind, because even in the Bible it says renew your mind every day. So that's losing your mind. That means you're changing it every day. So I think we have to look at those things, and when we begin to do that, and again, I'm gonna speak from the man standpoint. When we begin to do that, then we will be able to step into the skills, the gifts, and talents God has given us to be confident enough to be leaders.
right.
Wow.
That's what's
You
up.
know
That's
what,
what,
John, I am not going to let that get away. That deserves a post in the private Facebook group for Next Level
yeah.
Living. So somebody please put in the Facebook group hashtag sometime, not a hashtag because it's too long for a hashtag. Just write in there. Sometimes you have to lose your mind in order to get to the next level. And then put John McClung Jr. underneath there. Let's give him credit for that powerful statement. So, John, I don't want you to get off this call without telling us about I Am a Testimony. Tell us about I
Ah,
Am a Testimony clothing.
okay, absolutely, man. That is my baby. So I'll be more than glad to talk about it. And then we talked about it earlier as far as how I got started, and the actual business got started based on some traumatic things that I felt was happening in my life, going through divorce, being homeless, almost jobless. But I've gone through a jobless period in some aspects. I've had some, I spoke of earlier being a prodigal son. So I've lived that life where I've had some street life, but not to the point where I got away from who I was as from a faith standpoint. But I went through some rough edges. But the thing about it is, and Terrance, you were speaking about when you have a spirit built in you, people are still attracted to it, and sometimes they don't know why. But for me, the business started 2 years later, and I was telling you earlier about the radio show online that I was able to be a co-host for. And at the end of the radio show, I would always say I am a testimony based on things that I was going through, and then some of the conversations that were happening on the radio show. But 2 years later, I started the business, and the same month I started the business, I ended up relocating from Michigan, where I'm from. I'm originally from Long Beach, California. So, California girl, I'm with you there.
Okay.
So I migrated to the Midwest, stayed there for almost 30 years, and have family and things, and then coming back closer to home. But during the course of that time, in 2011, when I made the transition, it never allowed me to actually plant my feet into the business, but it never unplanted itself in my thought process and my passion as far as the heart. But I knew what my mission was, and I knew what the vision was, and I knew what the dream was. And I was talking about this earlier with Terrance as well, as far as I've been in around the ministry for 50 years. I'll say that, and I've never had an opportunity or seen an opportunity to identify with an apparel company or brand that allows the message to be seen by others and then have a message. My actual company is based on scripture. It's based on John 3:33, which is he that has received his testimony has set to his seal that God is true, which means your testimony is stamped with God's approval. So whatever it may be, a testimony is a spiritual or personal experience that an individual has gone through that allows them to share it with others. So when people look at me and say, oh, it's a Christian thing, no, it's a faith-based business that allows individuals to share their testimony no matter what it's gone through, to be able to help someone else go through it as well.
That's
And when
right.
you look at individuals who may have gone through some traumatic experiences but hold it in because nobody's ever asked them, what have you gone through? But when you wear the apparel and somebody walks up to you and says, hey, what does a testimony mean? Or why are you wearing that I am a testimony shirt? Then you have an opportunity to share your story or your testimony, which could change the lives of someone that you could have never thought could change because you never didn't have an opportunity to share your story with them. And that's the base of my business, is that it gives individuals an opportunity to be able to do something that they probably would not normally be able to do based on a conversation. But I always have this phrase: sometimes the apparel that you wear may be the only thing somebody else reads.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
that's all.
powerful.
That's powerful.
That's
Yeah.
unstoppable. And you know, it's so true because we live in a society of mask. I said it earlier. We show people what we want them to see or what we think they want to see. But very rarely do we show them who we are or who we've been to get to where we are. That's why, Tiffany, your story in your book is going to be unstoppable because it is a
Yeah.
powerful rags to riches transformational story. And we all have a story. My story may not be as dramatic as Tiffany's story. My story may not resonate with John like it may resonate with Tiffany. My story may touch you watching this broadcast and only you in this
Mhm.
broadcast. Or my story might be the catalyst that says it's okay for the next person to tell their story. And sometimes it just takes the phrase. And John, we're gonna put the camera back on you. I want you to stand up and show them the shirt. This is free advertising, baby.
That's right.
Ah, there it is. That's the
Something,
actual design.
the actual design, something as simple as I am a testimony. You walking down the street, somebody's
Mhm.
going through something. Somebody's waiting for I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It's my show. My show. Somebody's waiting on God to speak to them,
Yes, sir.
Right.
and they
Yes,
they
sir.
see your shirt that says I am a testimony, or they walk by me and they see my shirt and it just says I am unstoppable,
Hmm.
and that's a reminder. That is the message that that person may need at that moment in their lives. And that's an answer to a prayer just by seeing that happen. You don't have to say a word, the shirt speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Well,
You,
Calvin gave me a shirt.
Hey, I got you covered, Tiffany. I got
yeah,
you
That
covered.
was under my feet,
we,
okay? So,
we can definitely take your money so that you can take these shirts. Definitely.
real talk.
And definitely we want to give everybody an opportunity. So John, tell them how they can get a shirt, an I am a testimony shirt.
I certainly can. Before I do that, I want to say something and
Go
piggyback
ahead.
off of what you just spoke about. One of the things, and we are a part of a fantastic network headed by Shay Brown and Trevor Otts. At the beginning of the year, we were challenged with the Giver's Goal for 2014, and I took on that challenge. My part of that challenge was from my company was to give away 100 shirts to random individuals who would inbox me or with their email address or shirt size, and I would choose from that list six or seven people per month to send a shirt to randomly without them knowing that it's coming. And I just recently, I'm in the last stages of, I've already completed 100 plus shirts. I just got greedy and I wanted to do more. But I just recently sent out some shirts, and the very thing that we're talking about, I had a lady, she was in a mattress shop and she had the shirt on and she was walking around and the gentleman walked right up to her and said, "Hey, where did you get that shirt from?" And she started talking, and they got a chance to share their stories together. And she emailed me, and she was like, "John, I kid you not, I'm in this mattress store, and I'm wearing this shirt, and this believer comes up to me, and we started talking, and I told him exactly about the shirts and my story. So it is a fact that what you wear, people read.
Right.
So
Definitely.
yeah. So what you have on could be the message, I'm gonna let this out on the inaugural show of my man, the Next Level Living Show, down in another 30 days or so, maybe 2 months. I'm coming out with a shirt that says, The very thing you read may save your life, and it'll have the plan of salvation on the back of the shirt.
Amen.
So,
All right,
so,
Yeah.
unstoppable.
actually it's gonna say this shirt can save your life, and it's gonna have the plan of salvation on
Amen.
it. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's so I'll sneak that in. But as far as being able to purchase a shirt, you can go to the website. My website is www.testimonyIam, and it's just the word testimony with I am at the end.com. There's an online store there where you can actually purchase and go on and purchase. I get each one, and I see the notes if any customer, from a support standpoint. I personalize everything by sending the note back to individuals. I'm on Facebook under John McClung Jr. Also have a Facebook page for the business. I am a testimony as well. And so for this is my dream, this is my vision, and this is my mission as well as my ministry. And I'm very passionate about it. My goal is to be the #1 faith-based brand in the country, and one that we can identify with and be comfortable identifying with as far as wearing the gear. And when individuals have an opportunity to, again, see that you're wearing gear that is fresh or clean from a standpoint of a message. Because one thing I always said, and I promised myself, I would never lose the message in the design, because it's not about the money, it's about the message.
Right.
All right. And you know what? When you come out with that line, let us know, because we are purchasing. You blessed me out of the blue. I was one of the people that, we were on an instant message one day, and you just asked me what was my size, and I'm like, okay, this is my size. Didn't think anything of it. And I swear it had to be like 2 months later. My wife, she gets home before I do, and she says, "There's a package here for you." And I'm like, "A package here for me? I didn't order anything." And so I'm looking through the package. There's no return address on it, nothing like that. And I open it up, and it's the I Am a Testimony shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. It was so unexpected. It was a powerful statement in itself. It was a pay it forward act. And,
Right.
and I'm sure it was also an income producing activity, because, I took pictures of it. Everybody that I've seen wear it is just looking fabulous in those shirts. And I think that was a great thing. And that was a perfect example of stepping out on faith with your calling. You didn't know what would happen by sending out 100 shirts for free. You didn't know if there would be any return on your investment, but you did it because your heart told you to. And look at the blessings that have come as a result of it. What would you say some of the blessings have been just by doing that one goal that you started out doing, that one challenge?
Terrance, I'll tell you right off the bat. One, as you know, one of the things that Trevor always talks about, for those who may not have had the opportunity to listen in or hear Trevor Otts, but he always talks about those who outgive will out earn. And I think the one thing that for me has been the actual impact it has made on individuals' lives who has not expected. Uh, just the other day, Dr. Katrina Hunter, she got her shirt, and one of the first things she did was she was having a bad day, and it came right on time for her to, to actually change the attitude or whatever she was going through at that moment, by having her be surprised by some apparel she was not expecting to get, just by being on the list. So I think the response and the impact of what I call planting testimony seeds across the country is in itself. Listen, you, just like we talked about, you got your shirt a couple months ago. What am I doing right now? I planted a seed a month ago, 2 months ago, and I'm sitting here with you based on the fact that we built a relationship from being unstoppable testimonies.
Right.
Right. And to piggyback on what you just said, one seed can sprout a forest. And
Mm.
that's what I'm trying to do for you right now. I'm trying to bring forth that forest from that one seed that you planted in my life. And if we continue to do that, if we continue to if we continue to till our own soil, and if we continue to put back into the ground that we already have put seeds into, then nothing can happen but it continues to grow and it continues to flourish. And then we can take seeds from that and put it here, and then that flourishes. And then we can take seeds from there and put it here, and then that flourishes.
Right.
That's what I want the Next Level Living show to be about: planting seeds, giving you the opportunity to plant your seed, and then being there partnering with you to watch it grow, because we can all be unstoppable and we can all be on the next level together. Thank you so much, my brother John. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank
Tiffany
you.
Brown. Tiffany, how can they get in contact with you and be a
Oh,
part of your movement?
woo, they can get in contact with me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, From Bad Chick to Virtuous Woman. It's under the author page.
Okay. And is there an email where they can reach you at if they want to reach out to you that way?
Oh, they can reach me, not an email yet, but actually an email, but not a page yet. She's working on it actually right now.
Well, I like.
Yeah, www.promise rei@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And From Bad Chick to Virtuous Woman, it's a Facebook page online.
Okay. Excellent. Unstoppable. And I like that you said the word "not yet." You didn't say it's not
yeah,
that. You
it's
said
coming.
yet.
That's right.
Yeah, it's coming an umbrella.
All right. Well, I thank you, both of you, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you were here on the inaugural show, the inaugural video show of the Next Level Living show, and that just means so much to me. And I want to take the last couple of minutes. I want to recognize some people that are in the chat room, in the private Next Level Living Facebook group. So I want to say hi to Sonia Y. Single Gaddy. Hey, Sonia.
Hey.
Thank you.
I want to say hi to Kristen Ellis. How you doing, Kristen?
Hey, Kristen. Thank you so much.
Hey.
I want to say hi to... My screen is running slow, so this is what I want everyone to do. If you are listening to this show right now, I want you to go to the Facebook group. That's www.facebook.com/Next Level Living Show. Next Level Living Show. Facebook.com/Next Level Living Show. And we're going to do something that that John and I do on other shows. We're going to have you put your name, where you're from, and if you've got a business ministry, we want you to put that business or ministry name in there as well. Put your Facebook page or put your Twitter handle in there so that we can recognize you. And if you don't have any of that, then you need to be watching the show a little bit more often, because we're going to teach you how you can get exposure just like that. So your name, where you're from, what your business or your ministry is. Put that. We're going to give you a couple of seconds to do that. I see Sonia has put something in there. And, this show must be on fire because my system is running super slow on everything other than our outlet. So, hey, Sonia, we see you, Sonia. Sonia, do you have a Twitter feed? Do you have a Facebook page? Do you have a business address? It's time to promote yourself. We are promoting you, Sonia, for the next couple of minutes. Kristen, if you're still on the call, we want you to promote yourself, where you're from. Kristen, I know you are doing unstoppable things in the world of theater, so we definitely want to get you exposed tonight. If you don't do anything else on this tonight, you are going to get exposure tonight on the Next Level Living show. So let's take a couple of seconds. Let's see if we can get some other people to post real quick, and then I'll have some closing remarks, and we'll close out the show. That's right, Tiffany, From Bad Chick to Virtuous Woman. Put that out there, girl.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. This is awesome. I feel so good.
All right. Carol Tucker and Jackie Keith, thank you so much. They looked at the one of my videos about expecting success. So if you want more motivation and you can't wait till the next show, you can always go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/ Terrance Leftridge. And you can get more of my motivational videos and more of my unstoppable thoughts. Or you can go to my other Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ unstoppable coaching. That's where I am every day. You can get inspiration and motivation every day. I'm going to give you something that's going to help you move forward with what it is you're trying to do. And then finally, I invite you to check out my website, unstoppablecoaching.com, where we're taking you to the next level and beyond. And I have a special going on with free coaching session with the Unstoppable Coach to help you get laser focused on where it is you want to go and help you move to the next level of either your life, your business, or your ministry. I invite you to sign up, and then let's have a conversation and see how I can help you move to the next level. Also, while you're there, you can get my free ebooks, Unstoppable Confidence and Unstoppable Motivation. Two things that you need if you're going to run this race going to the next level. You got to be confident that you are supposed to be on the next level, and then you've got to get motivated to make that confidence into a reality. Family, I am overjoyed that you took time out to spend on the Next Level Living show tonight, where we talk to ordinary people like John and like Tiffany and like myself, but we're doing extraordinary things to take our lives to the next level. And if you just hang out and listen to us and take massive action afterwards, then you can hang out with us on the next level as well, because we are on our way there, and
Yes.
there's plenty of room for you to come along. As I like to always say in parting, I don't want you to just have a great week. I want you to have an unstoppable week, and here's to living your life on the next level. Take care, family.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night. Nice meeting you,
Thanks,
John.
guys.
Hey, you too, Tiff.
I